Children's Message to the Future is a project created by the Aarhus Music School. It started several years ago with the participation of hundreds of kids. During the project, different workshops are held. In this occasion, the project traveled to Kristiansand in Norway, where youngsters from Denmark, Norway and Iceland took part. Children's Message to the Future is based on the story about two children lost in the sea whose goal is to find their way home. Through this journey, they experience different emotional stages represented by the island in the show. In this workshop, each group worked on those islands. We had the chance to share these 4 days with them.
Can you introduce yourself, please?
My name is Johannes.
And my name is G.
And my name is Kaya.
We are playing in the roads.
That's about memories before they lost their memories.
And to remember where they came from, the girl and the boy. Yes.
My name is Isabella, and I come from Denmark, Aarhus, and I'm a singer. And I have been a part of this project, or I have been in this project before 2 times. The 2 children in the story, they are like sailing in a paper boat, and then they get to different islands, which have different moods. So that's what we are doing with the music and all the stuff that we're using to try and make these feelings that they meet. I'm on the anxiety island, so we're gonna make something uncomfortable, maybe.
My name is Sarah Amelia Way Sensing. I'm coming from Denmark. I'm 17 years old and I play the trumpet. I want to be a musician when I get older. The Dream Island is about all the dreams you have when you're little, when you're a kid. Dreams about your future, or dreams about after you woke up. All that in the same. I would say that is that what I think about the Dream Island.
I'm Annie Gunn. I come from Norway, Kristiansand. I play the clarinet and I've been playing it for 8 years now. In that island, it's mostly about when they're at the sea and they're feeling lost and they're looking for home and looking for somewhere to stay. So it's on the island, they're not sure where to go, they're not sure where they are, they can't see anyone, they feel lost and they just want to go home. I can kind of relate on some levels, kind of when like the anxiety island and with the dream island and how there's like good dreams and bad dreams and some parts of it, but some parts is just foreign to me.
My name is Selina and I am from Norway and I was in the group Darkness. Darkness is when the girl and the boy gets drowns and is on the bottom of the sea and they want to get out and they can and they do and then they get thrown to the next island. because they're drowning, I feel like they're like lost and they don't know what to do because they have just been at anxiety, and they're scared and afraid, and they don't know what to do. Just like if you get lost and you like everything is bad around you, you don't know what to do, and you're just there sinking and getting deeper and deeper, and then you reach rock bottom, and then you have to go to the top again.
The creative process is open and everybody can contribute with their ideas. The teachers are merely guides who help them in anything the kids may need. Gunil and Christian are the heads who started the project long time ago.
The process with working with these workshops and working with creativity in this way is different from when we normally teach our students to play music. And obviously you have to have some other strategies than normal. And I think for a teacher, actually, you shouldn't call it a teacher. It's more like someone who can guide a little, but not too much in the process. And I think when the process is really successful, you should, as a teacher, move away and maybe just see what's going on. And then suddenly you can see that, okay, now they're talking too much about, for example, the cables we're going to use, or the microphones we're going to use, or how we tune, and some small details. And then you can maybe, as a teacher, say, now try to move this in another direction, or you can ask them a question, or you can do something that get them move in a more a better direction in the creativity process. But it's much about watching what's going on, and in the ideal process, you are walking out of the door, and when you come back, you have a result.
First of all, it's a kind of different structure. When you structure a concert, it's normally then we play this and then we play this. And of course, you think about that you want to have different dynamics. So we take a silent piece and then we maybe take a more energetic piece. But here, the story tells what kind of energy there is in the music piece. And it also means that, for example, when they play the lullaby, the Icelandic lullaby, to understand the story behind it and how this story fits into our story, I think makes them also understand how to perform it better, because it is this to understand the feeling. What is it that we are going to express together? Because basically music is also always storytelling, but because there's so much focus on reading the score and performing it in the right way and counting where am I now in the piece and following the conductor and all these things, it's often the last part of it that is this creation of the feeling in the music. And here we kind of say this is where we start out, and then there might be mistakes, but it doesn't really matter if the feeling of the music is there. So that's also why it doesn't really matter if you sing it in the right way, but the most important is that you express what is to be expressed.
I think it's very nice to have a frame for the children to be creative in, because if it was too open, it would be very difficult for them to start out. How do we start being creative? So this frame of we have the story, and we have a special place in that story, and we also have a special theme, hope. And within those two things, we can be creative. If we didn't have that, I think it would be much more difficult or it would take a longer time, really, because we needed to somehow make a frame ourselves. But when we have the frame here, we can quickly do something. But then we can find something. If you don't want to play the melody, then you can maybe play some accompaniment. But it could all. But in the beginning, it says.
We started up with getting the group to name things that are cold, feelings that are cold, sounds that are cold, what cold looks like, to have some sort of ideas of what we are working with. I usually work as a clarinet teacher, where I have the clarinet group or the saxophone group, and then I rehearse the music that are supposed to be played afterwards in the orchestra. But this time I get one saxophone and just brass, so I didn't know where to start. So they had to help me to get through the project. So because the kids were so good, there was actually no problem.
You know how to say? Yeah, I knew that. But you can also get like an extension. But
Working with this methodology it's different because many of the teachers are classical trained, and we are so used to sheet music and scores and a structure. So it's very good for us as well to be able to just forget about the structure and use our creativity. And I think in a world like today, where there are so many rules and so many structure for young people as well, it's important for them to be using their creativity more. Because when there's a lot of structure, you see that the confidence to the young people of expressing themselves creatively they feel some kind of self-doubt about that. So it's very good to just push them out there and see, okay, either you sink or you swim, and see what happens. And if something goes wrong, it really doesn't matter, because the end result is what you are going to create. So it's very good.
Hello, my name is Guðjón Steinn. I am from Iceland and I am 13 years old. I think it's very good to not have to always follow, the sheet music. I like to, make something up, just improvise. It's very fun because, I'm not very big fan of, always being in sheet music. That's why I love jazz so much, and I play that always. I got the idea to make squeaky sounds of the balloons. I'm pretty proud of that. That was I like that. It's like so creative. Your mind goes to, you can use your mind, like you're coming up with all ideas, and you're doing something that you're not usually doing in your music school, and that's very important to not always just play some regular songs. Just do something that it's not you're not regularly doing. Do something different.
First, we started to think about what happens to a person when he or she drowns, and then we started thinking of noises or sounds or music that I could combine to the subject. I like it when I have to create something from scratch, because then I get to use my creativity, and I have a part in it. Because sometimes I don't agree with the notes, or I think it's like, no, it shouldn't be like that. But when I get to have a saying in it, I think I have a saying in it. So that's like good.
It's always a challenge to work with people that you've just met, but that's also, it makes it easier to be more free thinking. It helps you try to think different, because it's not someone you know, so you don't get scared of what are they thinking of me now. Right.
The biggest thing that caught my attention was mostly just like the whole thing of Iceland, Norway and Denmark coming together to just have playing together. And like you meet friends, you might not talk to them ever again, but like when you talk to them while you're here, it's very fun and just playing together. see the different cultures and how other people act.
As I said before, meet new people and know about their dreams, know about their culture, know about how they feel. I think it's important because we can all work together, and as we see all over the world, there's so many wars, there's so many bad things that happen. So if 3 countries can work together, maybe we all can work together.
It's cool. We get to meet people and work with different people, and I feel like I'm just in Iceland, just in some town that I've never been before. But I don't think of the other kids as like people that are from other countries, and they're just new people to meet and work with.
I think it is important that there are people from 3 different countries at one place, because then it's more international and more like fancy, and people can make new friends, and it's like more exciting because there are people from other worlds or countries, and yeah.
My favorite part was when we were eating together last night. That was really quality time.
I also think it's a bit difficult to speak English because I normally speak Danish, so I can relate.
When you put so many teenagers together that don't know each other, and there's a language barrier as well, because the Icelandic people don't speak Norwegian or Danish, but Norwegian and Danish can understand each other, but their English skills lack a bit. So the Icelandic are good in English, but Norwegian and Danish wants to talk Norwegian or Danish. So there's a lot of barriers that you have to overcome. So I think the first hour we just had to get to know each other a bit, and then you feel more safe.
I think a challenge when we work in groups is always to have everybody join. Because as we are as people, we always become a part of a group, and we suddenly feel that we have a role in that group. And I think as a teacher, it's I try to do my best to have everybody come in with their ideas and join, and maybe have the ones who are very much active to slow down a little, and have the less active ones come up with more energy.
In these projects, we have a lot of different cultures. You could say we have different nationalities, and we have been doing this kind of projects in many different countries. But there are also cultural differences between dance teachers and music teachers and theater teachers. And someone are used to a very democratic way of teaching, where they always ask the children what to do, and someone are used to be more, I tell you what to do. So, and sometimes, of course, there can be some where things bang together and you disagree about something. But what I experience is that because it's new for everybody, what we are doing, in some way everyone is playing on a different lane that they're used to, and because of that, they also accept each other's differences and try to learn from each other to see, okay, that they do it in that way. That's not what I'm used to, but maybe I can learn something from that.
Well, I think that the story has a really basic Nordic message, and it is both about creativity, this to have the chance to express yourself. We have a very strong tradition for that everyone has to have a voice. It's also in the whole democratic tradition, of course, but we also have it on a children level, that even though they don't have the right to vote, they still have the right to have an opinion and have a voice about their lives, and also being part of decision making. And to kind of have this training in your childhood also, and find a frame for this, because of course it's not like children can just decide everything. There needs to be a frame around it, how to find your own voice in in a community. And I think that is also what we're training in this project, basically, with having them to express themselves about life.
I think we all can relate to this story. I think it's not maybe about remember a name or something like that. I think just find yourself in this science, and just get knowing yourself a bit more. And I think a lot of people in maybe age 12 or something like that begin to lose themselves because of anything. Maybe the parents separate or they failed on a test and they are just trying to find themselves again.
I think all of the whole story is interesting. It's more like the concept of the new version every time that is interesting.
I would say that it's a really fun to do because you're learning people from other countries, and I think it is a great story, and it's cool to do the story.
When you work together with other people, you can see their culture, you can see how just not maybe like how a band in Norway plays, but like how other bands, different countries plays. Even though it's just Scandinavian, it's still a big difference, and it's basically just fun, and you learn about other people.
I would definitely encourage people to come because it's fun and you meet new friends, and it's like an exciting story to watch because it is a play, our story to be told, and it is interesting. And as I said, you make a lot of new friends, and yeah.
Tomorrow, I think we're going to see a show where, of course, there will be a lot of crazy and creative ideas from the students who participated in this. And so I think we'll see a lot of different things. But what I hope that we'll see, and that I experience from other projects, is that we see children that really perform and who are really aware of being on a stage. And that's a very positive thing, because that's not always what we see when we have, for example, performances at the music school, because there's you're used to play this piece like in this way, and then you do it on the stage, but it's basically not different from when you play it at home. But tomorrow, everyone have thought a lot about that. This is about telling a story, and they're telling a story with their instrument and what they're doing. So what I think we'll see tomorrow, and what we experience all the other times, is that we really see a great performance with great performers.
I hope that the final show that we create will be a fluent one, because there are so many groups that has to get ready, and they have to take a lot of cues. So I hope it goes smoothly, but if everybody is concentrated, it would be really good. And I love that I'm the storyteller as well, so I love that I can bring the message, the story out there, and finish by getting up on the podium and conducting the last score.
The final show, I think it will be great. It will be very great. The final show will give a concert feeling that is different from the normal concert for wind band. So I think it's very fun that they have put so much time in costumes and little things to shake and make funny sounds. And I think it was also a good work environment and a good learning environment for the kids that are used to just playing their sheet music, and that's it. So this is a new way of working, and I think the concert will be great.
The final show, I hope it's going to be okay, but I think it's going to be perfect.
Okay, how are you feeling? There is 1 hour left for the final performance.
We are very, very excited. Yeah, feeling good.
Are you nervous?
No, nothing much.
Not really. No.
And how is that?
We've done this so many times before. Yeah.
How did you feel about participating in this workshop?
It's amazing. I like that. It's really fun meeting new people and playing weird music and stuff. Yeah.
What difference have you noticed between different countries?
There's not much of a difference here in the Scandinavian countries. Yeah, the same. I say the same thing.
Anything else you want to add?
No, Áfram Ísland. Ísland!
It's 1 hour left for the final show. How are you feeling now? Are you nervous?
A little bit. Yeah. Yeah, a little bit.
How is been working these 2 days with people from different countries?
I think it was really funny, especially because, yeah, that's not just Danish, so you need to talk in other language and have different ideas.
Yeah, I think it's funny too, because you learn a lot of people to know.
What do you expect for the final show?
I think it will be special because it's not a normal concert. It's like there's so many costumes and sounds and it's history. So I think it will be really cool.
Yes, I think it will be amazing.
I think it was. I would think it was nice. It was beautiful, and considering that they're all, youths, it was an interesting performance, and it was kind of out of the ordinary, and something I hadn't really seen before. Using some effects that was totally new to me, and also it was a combination of many different genres of music, which was It ended up being a very positive experience.
Well, as a father to a girl on the saxophone, I think this is in many ways important for her because she loved music, she loved to play the saxophone, and she's quite creative. And I think this is a way for her to develop that way.
How proud are you of your daughter?
On a scale from 1 to 10, I would say as a father, I would place it on a 10. So, yeah, very proud.